So we've noticed that a lot of the newer devices are going away from, like the TouchFlo 2, are going away from the hardware keys. Do you think that that's going to be
Going away from hardware keys?
On the front-facing device, like in terms of like a directional pad and whatnot?
Okay, so we did eliminate the navigation, but we still did keep the important hardware keys. And the reason we eliminated the navigation was because we think that we have a really good answer just in terms of finger friendliness on the screen. When you have obviously no touch screen, then you need navigation. But when everything can be done with your finger, it really becomes like this whole dual mode thing that it actually provides like this extra decision time. Oh, do I touch the screen or do I use the navigation pad? Like that kind of thing. So do you really need that?
I personally don't think you do.
Yeah. I mean, there's still the important things you need, right? You need hardware keys for like send and that kind of thing because they need to be available to you.
Has HTC ever considered selling their TouchFlo 3D to third-party companies?
I don't know, but why don't you tell me? Like, why do you think we should do that?
To have more of a uniform platform around the Windows Mobile.
Well, so TouchFlo 3D is something that we developed to be like our advantage. It's a unique HTC identifier. So if we start selling that to other companies, then what makes HTC unique?
Are there any works for a front-facing QWERTY keyboard phone with a touchscreen on it? Like the Samsung Epics or like the Trios?
That could be something that we could look into in the future. We haven't said we'll never do a phone like that, but we definitely haven't like announced a phone like that or done anything to that sort.
Has HTC ever considered building their own operating system?
We always investigate like what's going to be best for like our our customers, and not just like our current customers, but what's going to help us expand. We definitely don't have our own operating system yet, but that doesn't mean that we don't investigate it, that we don't try it, and who knows what's going to happen in the future. Like if we find the right thing, then it's possible that we could totally do that.
Do you think that HTC will be moving on to better chipsets, or will they stay with the Qualcomm, like let's say like the NVIDIA Tegra or the Snapdragon?
Oh, well, I mean, so some platforms may require us to use like higher-end chipsets like that, and there definitely are some phones that may require us to go to higher-end chipsets like that. Does it make sense to put a Tegra on something, like a Snap? No, but as higher end phones become higher and higher end, we probably are going to have to go up along with that. But it's just going to have to be appropriate on a phone by phone basis. It's unlikely that you would see us move like our entire line to one anything. Just like you. I don't think you'll see us move our entire line to one OS. I don't think you'll see us move our entire line to, like one form factor. I don't think you're going to see us move our entire line to one single chip.
And on that note, do you think that HTC will be incorporating graphics acceleration onto their newer devices? Because I know that like the Titan 2 had issues with graphics.
Well, yeah.
Or is that
so
like a whole Qualcomm?
I think, when you take a look at the graphics performance of, say, the Touch HD or, this year's phones, the Diamond 2 and Pro 2, compared to our older phones, that it's definitely more impressive. And so there may be, we try to optimize our software so that the graphics are as good as possible. Whether we use hardware graphics acceleration in the future or not is going to be something, again, that's up to is it appropriate for the phone? Is this the type of phone that we think needs hardware graphics acceleration as opposed to what we've been able to do with, optimized software?
And on that note, do you think that HTC will be developing newer battery technologies to help save and conserve power?
We don't develop batteries. We develop cell phones, so we still have to buy batteries.
Oh,
from
okay, so the batteries are bought like
companies
third party.
Exactly,
Okay.
just like almost everybody else.
Oh, okay.
You know, so as battery technology moves along, we absolutely are there. You know, we have a team dedicated to researching basically the cutting edge of technology that's available for us to integrate into our phones.
Mhm.
So if new battery technologies come along, we'll absolutely be there investigating them. And you know, as soon as we think that they're right and fit our cost and everything like that, I'm sure that we'd be on it. But we don't develop batteries.
Okay. Do you think that HTC will ever come out with another flip phone like the Star Trek?
I would say this: look at the smartphone market, or even the feature phone market today. You don't see many flip phones, do you?
No, but do you think that the smaller form factors are going away and that the larger devices are coming back into play?
That certainly seems to be the trend across, like, you know, the entire market. And I don't think that HTC would want to develop a phone that very few people want to buy. You know, you want to appeal to enough people to make it worth us manufacturing the phone. And also something that the carriers want to buy from us. Don't forget that all of our phones are generally sold through carriers with carrier partners, which means that they have to be interested in buying it. And when you look at the vast majority of phones that carriers are selling these days, they are not the, you know, old school flip phones anymore. And so to go that route may not, at least at this point in time, may not be the most appropriate thing. I don't think that that's what the public is looking towards as a trend.
Okay, so some questions I have. So when do you think that the TouchFlo 2 will be available in the United States under a current carrier?
I think we're looking at very soon.
Okay.
We've always said that it would be in the second half, and I think a lot of carriers are excited to get it out the door. So I think it should be soon.
Okay, and do you think that it'll go along with AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and Sprint?
I can't comment
You
on
can't say
exactly
anything?
which
Okay.
carriers are going to pick it up.
Will HTC be manufacturing the Zune HD for Microsoft?
HTC does not manufacture any devices for other companies outside of a few navigation devices at this point in time.
What about Sony Ericsson with the Xperia?
That was something that we did, but I don't believe that we are manufacturing any further devices for them.
No, I don't think so. And one final question: which device do you use on a daily basis?
Hero. I have mine. This is mine, customized for me.
Oh wow.
So that's the one I've been using and rocking out on a daily basis.
Wow, it's really thin. I didn't realize how thin it
Oh,
was.
yeah. See, when you put it against like all the nice thin Snap platform phones,
Yeah.
it doesn't look that big, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I think that's definitely one of the things. A lot of people thought that we were trying to hide a thickness, but it's just not there. But I would say that. So I was always an insane Gmail addict, which is why Hero has been like the best phone for me, because now I get my work mail and my Gmail on the same phone, and I don't have to worry about half-baked solution for either. You know, having Gmail with full labels and everything, and then having our Exchange client where I still get like all my Exchange calendars and everything, and being able to flag Exchange emails. I don't know about you. Are you like a flagger star kind of guy?
Sometimes, if I think it's really important.
See, like that is. I'm not a subscriber to any of the getting things done type of systems or anything like that. But I will say the flagging and starring is like the only way that I kind of emulate that. Like I'm not an inbox 0 guy. I'm more of like an inbox 5,000 kind of guy.
Oh goodness.
but I definitely like everything is kept like flagged or starred, and being able to just check my starred email or just check my flagged email is or add a flag or star is like super important to me, because otherwise I'd just never get that to anybody.
Do you think that carriers in the United States are going to start utilizing the front-facing camera over their data network? So like in Europe, how you can almost like a video call?
Yeah, I would say that almost nobody makes video calls. If you look at the actual usage rate of video calls on networks around the world, it's pretty low.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, so I mean, now granted, there definitely are some use cases for it, but so AT&T has video sharing, right?
Yes, they have video sharing, but it's pretty much all you can do is record something and then send it. Kind of like that MMS. It doesn't actually record live.
I thought they had live video. They had true video share, right? Which is a one-way video call.
Not to my knowledge. I've tried using it on my phone and other devices, and I haven't been able to get it to work.
Because that may be a testament to. I think there may be a future for that, but in the near term, I don't think anybody has come up with enough like positive response on it for us to see a lot of development on that in the U.S. Maybe it's possible when the bulk of carriers switch to LTE and they're sort of using a unified technology, we might maybe see something like that, because it'll be easier to do cross-network stuff. But right now you're pretty limited to like one network at a time.
Do you think that Sprint will kind of go to the WiMAX, and then like AT&T and other companies will go to the LTE?
I mean, I only know what they've announced. Okay. So if you look at it, almost, whatever AT&T and Verizon have been vocal about LTE, T-Mobile, because of their international ties, have said things about LTE, but haven't been like quite as vocal about it. And Sprint has talked a lot about WiMAX, but not said anything about whether that's the only technology that they expect to use. So I think that we'll have to see which technology and which network everybody feels that they're going to bet on. It's possible that if everybody in the whole world chooses LTE except for a couple of carriers, that those carriers will eventually move to it. But we'll have to see, because who knows? Right now, LTE sounds really great, but it's still at that sort of early WiMAX stage. Like if you can remember back to then, when like there was this WiMAX and they like had all agreed on the basics, but nobody could agree on whether they would use like 802.16 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like whatever. And so we got a lot of, if you look at all the early WiMAX networks, right, they're all totally incompatible.
Exactly.
Right. And it took a while of working through that before we got to compatible in WiMAX networks. And it looks like right now we're at that same stage with LTE, where everybody's decided what the LTE technology is, but now now they're all, there's debates over which voice compression technology or which, whatever. Like you see all kinds of differences going on. So it's still going to be a little while, I think, before we see like something for everybody to settle on. By that time, then generally you'll see people side on the standard, and whether that standard is WiMAX or LTE or some future technology will be up to each carrier. Here we have, this is the TouchFlo 2. So I don't know, what have you gotten a chance to use or not use yet? I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to see any of these?
No, not in person.
So, and then these are what we'll call the Snap platform. So we've got the Ozone, the Snap, and the Dash 3G, all of which you can see are very similar. But again, this goes back to what I was saying about us having like working with carriers, having a history with carriers. Even though all these are based on like the same platform, similar chipsets, everything, form factor, layout, all that stuff is slightly different from the device to device, because that's what the carrier wanted in order to customize their experience. Let's see if maybe some of these have a chart, some of them don't. I'm not really sure. I grabbed them all as I was running.
Oh, that's cool. It looks like they're all dying too. Poor phones.
That's what happens when they sit in a suitcase for, years.
Years, huh? Well, where are the new devices?
Far, far away from you, my friend. There's a reason that we only let the press into the very front of the building. That way we have time to tackle you before you get to the new stuff. Other than that, like, I think you should definitely, this one has a full charge because I know I just charged it up. I would invite you to take a little spin through this. I think that Pocketnow has done plenty of reviews of the TouchFlo 2 by now. But we're happy to let you take a spin through it and check it out, see what we've done, that sort of thing. And you can kind of, I think maybe the more you get to see what we have developed, the more I think you can almost start answering questions about the products for us in terms of like where we might be going, or what we see as important, that sort of thing.